one simple exercise. I request all of you present here to please raise one arm. Just like that. Please raise your one. Great. Now, can I request you to go just ½ inch higher? Just a little bit more. Please, put it down. Thank you so much. What was that thing which told you to raise it a little higher? Was it the pressure? Was it the crowd? Was it me talking? No. It was that one little voice inside you which said, you can go a little higher. And we all have that voice inside us. The only thing is, we do not recognize it. Ladies and gentlemen, that voice inside us is empowerment. We all have it inside us. The only thing is, we don't hear it sometimes. But what we need to do is, we need to hear it every time when it tells us, raise your standard a little higher. With this, let me introduce myself. I am Major Anita Rathore. I had the privilege to serve in one of the best defense forces of the world, which is Indian Army, and I served for around 12 years. Now, I'm mother of 2 beautiful kids, married to an army officer who is still serving, and my brother also serves in the same Indian Army. So you can call me, I'm an Indian Army child. So I was born to a father who was serving the nation. Then I lived my whole life as the child of Indian Army. Then I served myself, and now I'm married to one. Let's talk about empowerment, because what I feel is every man, woman, anyone who is living needs empowerment. But how? Let's talk about it. So what I believe is strength didn't find me. I built it with one smallest of the decision each and every time. The choices which you make every single day, to get up on time or not, to work out or not, to be with the friends who bully you or not, to attend the lectures or not, that each decision is shaping you, that each decision is something which is forming habits, and these habits are the thing which is forming your personality. And if you do not work on your personality right now, let me tell you, if you start doing that at 50, it will be a little later. So listen to that voice inside you, which is telling you to work on yourself and do the right thing, even if it feels hard. So today, on this stage, I will be talking about 5 life lessons which empowered me. And yes, I am from the army, but I'll be talking about all the life lessons. It can be from my childhood, it can be from my army days, it can be of anything. Because I feel empowerment doesn't happen in one stance. It keeps on happening. So let's talk about me. This was me as a child. And what I feel is empowerment is something people generally ask me, how do you feel empowered? Is it the marks? Is it the job? Is it the money? Or is it something when you crack an interview, you feel empowered? And I said, no. Home is the first place where you feel empowered. How? Because long before you go into the world, your home tells you what you can become. And at my home, it was my father who told me this one single line, "Man ke haare haar, man ke jeete jeet." And every time I failed in my life, I came back to this single line, "Man ke haare haar, man ke jeete jeet." Kyun? Kyunki man se kabhi haar hi nahi mani. So I came from a very small town, which is in Bihar, where girls are supposed to get married by 18 and 19. And at that time, if a girl decides to get into the army, people were like, seriously? फौज में लड़की क्या करेगी? फौज काफी टफ होती है लड़कियों के लिए, ट्रेनिंग हो नहीं पाएगी. But then, this is where your empowerment starts. You choose to write your own story the way you want. You do not have to go with whatever people are telling you. You choose what you want. Then, in fact, let me go back and tell you, so it was my father's belief which told me that I can build an empire which I wanted to. So, ladies and gentlemen, please remember, let's build our homes into empowered homes first of all, so that we can raise the girls and boys as empowered youth of this country. In broken homes, we don't raise empower girls and boys. That's how I believe into it. Moving on to the second lesson, which I feel challenges don't break you. It's the comfort zone which is breaking us. Too comfortable in your college life, too comfortable in your same job which you want to leave, but you are scared of, how will I go ahead? How will I move on? It's okay. If you choose comfort, you will keep on living the small life. If you want the life, you have to move out of your comfort zone. It can be a little uncomfortable in the beginning, but let me tell you, after some time, you will be so proud of yourself. So I could have chosen the fact that I should have got married, to whatever my father would have said. And the only thing I did not want to do this was dowry. You know the amount of dowry people give? It's around, if you want to marry someone who is into a sarkari naukri, so minimum is the 10 lakh. And I told my father, the day I will get married, you will not give a single rupee. And then at that time, my father also did not believe it, let me tell you, okay? He said, beta, it's not that easy. I said, I'm not born to do easy things. I'm born to do the difficult things. And yes, the day I got married to my husband, my father has not given a single rupee dowry. Not even a single rupee, okay? So you can rewrite your story the way you want. You don't have to believe the world. Just move out of your comfort zone. Initially, the fear will look bigger, but as you will keep walking, the fear will just go away. So just keep walking. Now, I always remember one thing. The first time I spoke on a school stage, I was in class 6th. My father was posted in Jammu. And I still remember, I just had to say one thought. It was, honesty is the best policy. And because I was so scared, trembling with fear, I went on the stage and I said, honesty is the best policy. And when I got down, my teacher said, there's nothing called honesty. You can't even pronounce one word properly. At that time, I had two choices. To break down as in to never go on the stage again, or to go on the stage again and again, again and again and again, and then stand here on this TEDx talk. So I chose the second one. Now, we all should remember this one fact. Growth is uncomfortable. Growth will cause you discomfort, but growth is important. Let's move on to the third lesson. Life won't be always fair. So in my college, I still remember, my favorite subject was geography. So I always wanted to top in geography. But, you will meet kind of people who will not be fair to you. It can be your teachers sometimes, it can be your friends sometimes, it can be your mentors sometimes. But that's okay. So I remember, because I was not a Punjabi-speaking girl, the teachers kind of used to favor few students at that moment. And then there was a test conducted when I was out for some NCC camp, and then the marks were added into the marks which was scored. So I was the topper, and then I was at the 4th place. So at that time, I was very angry. I was frustrated that I was the topper and I should have been receiving this prize, which I never received. But did I bother for that? No. Why? Because that one thing did not stop me from wearing the uniform. It did not stop me from marching on Rajpath with 144 men, which I was leading. It did not stop me from commanding at Northeast, sensitive station, when COVID was all on, when China was almost attacking us. So, remember this, move on. And how do you do that? You ask yourself, will this matter from next 5 years? Will this thing which is happening right now, will it matter from after next 5 years? If it doesn't, just move on. It doesn't deserve your energy. It doesn't deserve your own peace. So, choose to keep moving on in your life. We will lose our friends. We will lose our boyfriends, girlfriends, our own parents, pets, and everything which we love. But that's okay. Life is meant for moving on. Learn to move on. So, lesson number 4 from my story is, failures will refine you. They will not define you. If I tell you that I flunked in the 10th maths examination in the board exam, will you believe? But I did. I did fail in maths examination, and I had compartment in my 10th class. And I still remember the area where I used to live, everybody labeled me. She's a failure. She cannot even pass her board examinations. Oh, she's not at all good in her studies. And let me tell you, in 90s, if you decide to take humanities, you were supposed to be killing yourself. Okay, but I decided not to do that to myself. Why? Because I will not decide anyone else to label me. Just because I failed in one exam, it doesn't decide your worth. If you tell a fish to climb the tree, it will never do that. So, All I told myself is, I am meant for different things. And as soon as I took humanities in my 11th and 12th, I started being topper of both my classes. So what I'm trying to tell you is, your failures will be there. The first time I went for the army interview, I could not even clear first round. I was out from first round. And how heartbroken I was, I tell you. I locked myself up in a room, cried there for at least 45 minutes. When I was satisfied, I went out on the station, because we were supposed to go back home on the day one. I went to the station, took a ticket in black of third AC, and I just, had the blanket on my head, and I kept on crying for I don't know how many hours, maybe 24 hours, and I realized I need to eat something. Then I got up and I ate something. So, you will fail, but don't let that decide your worth. A failure doesn't get to decide your worth. Your worth is what you believe about yourself. Don't let anyone else tell you that what your worth is. So rejection is something which is just opening doors for you. It is like unlocking a different version of yourself, what you do in Candy Crush Saga. So please unlock that different version for yourself for the next part of the life. That's what I believe. And remember this, you are not unfinished till the time you want to finish. Lesson number 5 is becoming who I was meant to be. So the time I stepped into the Officers Training Academy, I never knew I can study, I can run, I can rock climb, I can run for 40 kilometers. The first 40 kilometer I ran, and you run 40 kilometers with a 20 kg backpack, one rifle, and in between, if your friends are falling down, you pick up their rifles and you make sure that they complete that run. Why? Because if they don't complete their run, you end up getting negative marks. And let me tell you, that's not something any company is looking for, because you will lose. And if you lose, you can't lose. So, discipline was taught to us, and now it is very much part of our life. What is discipline? Discipline is doing what you're supposed to do, even when no one is watching you. First rule of empowerment is choosing discipline over comfort. Moving on here, I just show you this first picture if you see. So we are supposed to dig the trenches of our own height. You have just started, See, we would have spent, this is the evening picture, and we spent our whole night digging these trenches. But what a wonderful experience it is. Today when I tell my kids about all these stories, they listen with so much of curiosity and so much of attentiveness. So create these stories so that tomorrow you can tell these stories to your friends, your children, your family members, and you will feel you have come such a long way. So remember this, that pain is temporary. It's not going to be there forever. But what you receive out of that pain is something which will be loved by everyone, including you. So, empowerment, again, as I said many number of times, and I'll repeat, because this is something which I want you all to take home with you today, that empowerment is not given to anyone. You don't get empowered just because you get the chances. No. Empowerment is your choice. It is built day by day. When you choose discomfort over comfort, you are empowering yourself. When you choose to not let any failure decide your worth, you are empowering yourself. When you choose that you will not be stereotyped for anything, you are choosing empowerment. Let me tell you one last story which reminds me of empowerment. So I remember my father, after he left army, he was working as a clerk in one of the station canteens. So there he had one friend, and that friend told my father, "Why are you allowing her to go for so many interviews? Even when she's failing, she's just going and wasting your money. Why is she doing that? At the end, she's supposed to be in the kitchen." And that's what he told my father. And my father, I remember the day I became officer, my father told me this incident, that uncle came to me that day and he told me, at the end she belongs in the kitchen. Why are you allowing her to fail so much? My father said, she will get to decide where she belongs. So I decided that I belong to the uniform. I belong to a service which is supposed to be for men, where I commanded men who are elder than my fathers. Don't let anyone decide where do you belong. Don't let anyone stereotype you that men are only for working and women are only for kitchen. No, a man can be a chef. A man can take care of kids. A woman can be out of kitchen. She can be a leader. She is leading. And I don't need to say any examples for this. We already know so many of them. So with this, I would like to say all of you a very thank you. Thank you so much. And I hope you're taking forward some lessons of empowerment today before you leave. Thank you so much.